Hey there everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. You know, Kingdom Hearts 3 is getting closer than ever to being released. I've recently been hearing rumors that it could be released sometime around 2018, but that depends on what Tetsuya Nomura says. Now, since I already blogged the past 6 games while going over the HD 1.5 remakes in 2014 and HD 2.5 remakes in 2015, I think now is the time to blog the 3 games featured in Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Now, before we get started with Part 1, I need to let you guys know that I didn't really think too much about Kingdom Hearts Key. Mostly because I think that the other games in the Kingdom Hearts series are a lot better, and of course because I don't really care too much about phone apps. Plus, I saw a walkthrough of it on YouTube a while ago, and it seems a tad hit and miss. Yes, the story does seem interesting, and the new Heartless look very cool, but the gameplay seems very dated. The player you play as doesn't seem to have a name, similar to those Wii avatars that you create. And the Disney worlds you visit seem very baffling, due to the fact that this game takes place 100 years before Birth by Sleep. But enough with those aspects, because we're here to talk about how Kingdom Hearts Key is in Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. So, released for the PS4 in Japan on January 12, 2017, and in America on January 24, 2017, the game is Kingdom Hearts Key back cover. Now, let's start with the story of this game. Long ago, in the age of fairy tales, the world's light is protected by 7 individuals who reside in Daybreak Town and wield unique weapons called Keyblades. The Master of Masters and his 6 apprentices. A devastating conflict has been foreseen, and the world's end is imminent. In order to heal it, the Master of Masters gives his disciples unique roles and instructs them to form unions comprised of other Keyblade wielders. Soon afterwards, the Master of Masters vanishes. One apprentice, Foreteller Ira, is left in charge. One day, Ira discovers a dark Chirithy. This suggests someone has submitted to darkness and a traitor is present. Foreteller Acid is the primary suspect, and it is soon discovered that this was not foretold in the Book of Prophecies, written by the Master of Masters. Acid convinces Foreteller Gula to form an alliance with him, but Foreteller Envy dissolves this. Suspecting Envy is the traitor, Acid clashes with her, but their battle is stopped by Foreteller Ava and Gula. It is revealed Gula possesses a lost page from the Book of Prophecies. This confirms the presence of a traitor amongst the Foretellers. Gula is struck down by Acid, but Ava saves the former's life. Acid is then accosted by Ira, but the two reconcile. Ira then seeks out Gula in an attempt to see the lost page. He is sent away by Ava, who is tending to Gula's wounds. Gula reveals his intention to summon Kingdom Hearts in order to lure the Master of Masters back to Daybreak Town. But Ava dissuades him from doing so. Realizing conflict between the unions is inevitable, Ava acts in accordance with her role and gathers Keyblade wielders who must go into hiding instead of fighting, dubbing them the Dandelions. Meanwhile, in the barren wasteland of the Keyblade Graveyard, Luxu pauses with the known name and a mysterious box engraved with the words Key Super. and intones the master's mantra, "May my heart be my guiding key." So, what are my thoughts? Well, to me, this was good. Nothing too special. It just didn't give me much of a big impact on me as the other Kingdom Hearts games did. But let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, the film is non-interactive and rendered with Unreal Engine 4. It utilizes Kingdom Hearts 3's Kingdom Shader. Now, while I don't really care too much about the game of Kingdom Hearts Key itself, the film is indeed interesting, seeing the story from the Foretellers' perspectives. Plus, the Book of Prophecies is very interesting and a very important subject. If you guys remember, during Kingdom Hearts Recoded, Maleficent and Pete discuss about the ancient book after they were defeated in the datascape. According to legend, it is capable of transcribing and conjuring future events, as well as creating entire worlds filled with beings and powers that have yet to exist. So, Maleficent decided to search for a connection between the book and the datascape, and she wondered if the book is also connected to Jiminy Cricket's journal. However, in Key, it is revealed that the book was written by the Master of Masters. The book foretells the events that would lead up to the Keyblade War and what came after. Now, as for the graphics, well, to me, they look way better than how they look on the phone. The graphics look very realistically, especially with the way they made Daybreak Town look. Plus, the characters' movements are very smooth. It's almost like I'm watching a live-action video game. Anyway, now that we're done with Mustang notes, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Now, let's begin with Foreteller Era, voiced by Matthew Mercer, who has voiced in Final Fantasy XV. In my opinion, Era is my favorite out of the Foretellers, mostly because he wears the unicorn mask. Plus, he's a very dependable individual with a no-nonsense attitude. His role is to become the new leader of the Foretellers after the Master vanishes. Next up is Foreteller Acid, voiced by Travis Willingham, whom I know as King Roland from Sophia the First. Though Acid tends to rely on his physical prowess, he is an honest individual with a pure heart and a strong sense of justice. Foreteller Envy is voiced by Carissa Lee Staples. Envy is an individual with high morale standards and high esteem. She obeys the Master of Masters without question, and she remains neutral when acting in accordance with the role assigned to her, which is to watch over the others with a fair eye. Next is Foreteller Gula, voiced by Kevin Quinn, who has been on Disney Channel's Bunked and Adventures in Babysitting. Gula is a cool-headed individual who trusts no one but himself, meaning that he prefers to keep his distance from the others and doesn't regard them as comrades. His role is to solve the mysteries of the Book of Prophecies. Next is Foreteller Ava, voiced by Isabella Moner, best known from the Middle School movie, and she'll be in the upcoming Nutjob 2, and the 5th Transformers movie. both of which will be in theaters this summer. Now, despite being a Keyblade master, Ava is a kind-hearted individual whose youth enables her to befriend the members of her union. Her role is to find exceptional Keyblade wielders, regardless of union, and create her own organization. Rounding out the cast is Laura Jill Miller as Chirithy, Michael Johnston as Ephemer, Ray Chase as the Master of Masters, and Max Middleman as Luxu. And now, let's move on to my final words. Overall, Kingdom Hearts Key back cover may not be as good as the other Kingdom Hearts games, but the graphics are fantastic, the story is interesting, the characters are epic, and the voice acting is very spot on. So, if you're looking for a game to watch that tells an interesting story, then by all means you definitely check this out. As for my final rating, well, I give Kingdom Hearts Key back cover a 64% out of 100. Well, that's it for part 1. Be sure to join me for part 2, where we go into the realm of sleep to blog Dream Drop Distance. To be continued.